back to Carsick.my for another review video. This time around, we will be taking a look at the Mazda 6 Touring. I've always been a fan of estate vehicles. This is because they are more practical compared to a regular sedan, and also, they are more stable compared to a SUV. Due to the lack of interest, not many manufacturers actually sells estate cars in Malaysia. Mazda is one of those few manufacturers that are brave enough to venture into this segment. The estate that Mazda is currently selling is the Mazda 6 Touring, and Mazda has been selling it since 2013. Over the years, the Mazda 6 has been facelifted once while going through a few minor enhancements to keep it relevant to its competitor. Internationally, Mazda Corporation has announced that they are phasing out the current generation Mazda 6 to make way for the next generation model. In order to give this model a good farewell, we shall take a closer look and see how well it stacks up against its competitor in 2021. Since its launch, the Mazda 6 has always been the slickest and sportiest looking D-segment vehicle, which breaks the mold of it being an uncle car. I dare to say that the design of the Mazda 6 actually encouraged competitors to follow the trend and create their own sporty looking D-segment vehicle. Throughout the years, the Mazda 6 actually aged quite well, and it doesn't look a day older compared to the newer competitors. Looking at it, the strong and muscular lines flows throughout the Mazda 6, while flat wheel arch gives it a wider stance. The slim looking LED headlight and the sharp looking taillights reminds me of an Alfa Romeo. Paired with the 225/45 R19 rims and tires, it completes the overall look of the car. Hopping on board, the Mazda 6 interior gives you a sense of quality, with plenty of soft touch materials around the cabin. Compared to the newer cars like the Mazda 3 and the CX-30, you can feel that the Mazda 6 interior is due for some upgrade to make it feel more modern and refined. The base color for the interior is black color. This is to continue with the sporty theme that was seen on the exterior. Usually, the engine start-stop button is located quite low down closer towards the driver, but the position of the start-stop button on the Mazda 6 is fairly high up on the dashboard, which takes some time to get used to the position of it. Beside the button, the freestanding infotainment screen do feature connectivity options such as Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. On top of that, the audio from the infotainment system is pumped through an 11 speaker Bose sound system that I really enjoy while driving the car. One downside for the infotainment screen is that when Android Auto is on, the touch function on the screen will be disabled. I wonder when will Mazda rectify this. Sitting in the driver's seat, the first thing that catches my eyes is the analog instrument cluster with a small digital display. I am not very particular about having a digital or analog instrument cluster. As long as it's easy to read, I'm all good about it. As someone with larger hands, the thin rim steering wheel don't really suit me. I much prefer to have a thicker steering wheel to give me a better feel when holding on to it. On the other hand, I really like the feeling of being cocooned when sitting in the driver's seat, as I can lower the driver's seat to quite a low down position. While driving, keeping my eyes on the road is also fairly easy, with the heads-up display doing a good job in showing me the necessary driving information without being distracting. Moving to the back, the legroom and headroom space are rather generous with the front seat set to my sitting position. I do notice that the rear seat cushion is on the harder side for my back to feel comfortable over long distance. On top of that, I would like to have some reclining ability for the rear seat to further improve rear seat's comfort level. With a boot space that measured in at 522 liters, there are more boot space than you need for a family of 5 to go on a holiday trip. If more space are needed, the rear seats can be fold flat to allow longer and bulkier items to be fitted into the cabin. Lastly, I would like to see Mazda adds the powered tailgate function on future estate model for greater convenience. Powering the Mazda 6 is the trusty 2.5-litre 4-cylinder Skyactiv engine, which can be found on a few different Mazda models. This engine has the ability to produce around 185 brake horsepower and 250 Nm of torque. And the engine is paired with the Mazda's Skyactiv 6-speed automatic transmission. The 2.5-litre engine is smooth and the power delivery felt linear because the torque starts kicking in around 3000 RPM. When I tried driving within the torque curve, the transmission will suddenly kick down to a lower gear to anticipate for hard acceleration. I find it a little annoying when it does that, and it feels like driving with sports mode on all the time when I'm just out on a gentle cruise. Overall, the engine performance is sufficient for a car this size. Superb handling has always been the highlight for any Mazda models, and the Mazda 6 naturally inherit this characteristic. The steering wheel is precise and direct. It gives me the confidence to know where the wheels are pointing while taking corners. When going over uneven roads, the Mazda 6 soaks up most of the bumps with ease, but from time to time, I do feel the rear of the car hop about when driving over bumpy roads at a faster pace. While the car felt planted overall, I do notice that the Mazda 6 has slightly more body roll compared to the Hyundai Sonata, which I was testing out previously. As for braking, the Mazda 6 has sufficient braking performance for daily use, but when taking it for some enthusiastic drive, I can feel that the brakes are working extra time to slow the Mazda 6 down. On highway cruising, the Mazda 6 wind noise level is kept to a minimum. On the other hand, tire noise do seep into the cabin. As the lineup goes, the Mazda 6 is one of the older model in Mazda's lineup. It is evident especially in the safety department. It only features systems such as blind spot monitoring system, rear cross traffic alert, lane departure warning, and lane keep assist on top of the usual passive safety system. To sum it up, the Mazda 6 is one of those cars that I really enjoyed my time driving it. It may not be the newest kid on the block, but it still managed to stand toe-to-toe with its much newer competitors. And being an estate, the level of flexibility and practicality outperforms a regular sedan. Priced at 215,148 ringgit, the Mazda 6 sits in a very interesting position as there are no other D-segment estate being sold in Malaysia. Buyers who are looking at either a D-segment sedan or a large SUV should give it a try. It might be just the vehicle to suit your needs. Please help us by liking this video and subscribe for more future videos.